Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time since I've uploaded a video. I believe it was in early January this year that I uploaded a video, and ever since then I haven't uploaded one. That was mainly because I was in college. I'm back now after a long time for a winter vacation, so hopefully I can upload more videos in this time. So starting off, I have the brand new iPhone 16 unboxing and first impressions. This is the black in color, and if you've seen my previous videos, I'm currently using an iPhone 13, so it's been 3 years. So, and it is due upgrade because basically using my phone while I was swimming, I know it's kind of weird, but I got water inside it, and the proximity sensor is busted, and the front camera sometimes behaves weirdly. So I thought, you know what, it's time to upgrade. So let's go. So let's go ahead with the unboxing. Let's take a look at the box, and just like any other iPhone box. So let's go ahead and unbox this. Now you obviously got the pull tabs, which I really love, but I still prefer the old plastic unboxing of the old iPhones and the iPads. That's just my personal preference, but this is good because this is more eco-friendly, so I like that. So let's take a first look at the iPhone 16. It's been 3 years since I've been using the iPhone 13, so let's go ahead and see. Wow, look at that. Looks absolutely beautiful. So as you can see, it has the frosted back and aluminum sides, so it's basically not at all glossy, unlike the iPhone 13, which had a glossy back. I believe it changed with the iPhone 15. So it's a very nice change. And this black looks really good, if you ask me. Look at the camera bump, looking big as always. And let's just keep this at the side. Let's look at what you get, what else you get in the box. So your normal USB-C to C, which is a very good change from Lightning. Great to see that, finally. And here you have the normal Apple documentation and no stickers, unfortunately. I have no idea why they got rid of that, but whatever it is, it's kind of sad. All right, let's keep this aside and let's take a look at the phone itself. Absolutely beautiful. Wait, let me just remove the case of the iPhone 13 so you can see the difference. The main reason I'm doing this video is because a lot of people who are upgrading from the iPhone 13s are buying the 16s. So, or let me just say it another way. A lot of people who are buying the iPhone 16s are the ones who are upgrading from the 13 or older, but a lot of them people are 13 users. So this I feel is a pretty good upgrade, but we'll see how good of an upgrade it is when I use it, and then I'll give my final thoughts on it. So on this side you can see it's the action button, which has been with basically the mute switch has been replaced by the action button. So that's something new. Volume up and down, you got the SIM tray and speaker grill, USB-C, microphone, and that's your capture button, which is sort of kind of controversial. I'm not a really big fan of the capture button from what I've seen. So yeah, and you got your power button, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's open this. Hopefully you can hear this peel. It's ASMR. Beautiful. Also, it has the dynamic island, so again, really good upgrade. All right, so let's turn on this device for the first time. All right. And we're going to compare it side by side and see what all has changed in 3 years. Once it boots up and set this device up, I'll be back. Alright guys, so I am back after setting up the phone. I have been using this phone for a couple of days and I have quite a few thoughts about this, and I've written everything on this paper so that I don't forget and leave out anything important. But anyways, let's get started. So first of all, the first thing that I noticed was the weight of the phone. This, the iPhone 16 is actually lighter than the iPhone 13. Like, it's significantly lighter. You can notice a big difference immediately. I don't know how that is, some changes in the internals or something, but whatever they did, it's actually pretty incredible. It is a noticeable difference and I'm really liking it. So next up, let's talk about the screen size. Now the screen size is pretty much exactly the same, 6.1 inch. It is again 460 ppi with a ever so slightly higher resolution. So, but again, it's not really noticeable. So, yeah, because the screen sizes are exactly the same, like I mentioned, or almost the same, if not exactly the same. So, there isn't any major difference in terms of display quality, but it's good. It's really good. And one difference that is there is in the display brightness. Now, the iPhone 13 can go up to 800 nits maximum indoors, but the iPhone 16 can go up to 1000 nits. So it's noticeable. Now, let me just put both of them at maximum brightness so you'll get to know the difference. Look at that. I'm not sure if it's visible in the camera, but in real life, you can very much notice it. The display brightness is definitely noticeable on the 16, which brings me to another point, and that is the minimum brightness that they talk about. Uh, Apple in their website claims that the iPhone 16 can go down as low as 1 nit in terms of minimum brightness. I find that claim to be slightly misleading because in order to turn it on, you have to go into the settings, and I'll just show you. So you go to settings and then you go to accessibility, display and text size, and go to reduce white point. You put it at maximum and you bring the brightness all the way down. It's literally not visible. This is 1 nit minimum brightness. And this is the only way I've found to get that. I have no idea what they were saying, but what I do know is in order to get 1 nit minimum brightness, you need to reduce white point and put it at 100% in order to achieve that. So that is one claim that I found slightly misleading, but yeah, that's one thing I wanted to point out. But overall, in terms of display quality, it's good. No complaints whatsoever. It's top notch. Now, let's talk about the dynamic island. Now, of course, this is the biggest difference which is noticeable visually. So it's a nice change. It's basically a new way of interacting with certain apps and activities like music, watching some I don't know, some live activities and doing sort of things, and even like as you can see, the hotspot symbol is showing up there. So that's one of the new ways of interacting with your certain tasks and settings and all that. So that I like that. It's good. It's a nice touch. But I want to see what Apple can do in the future by integrating more things and make it more interactive. As of now, it's good, but it's a little lackluster. I hope in the future Apple utilizes the dynamic island in a more unique and effective way. But overall, I have no issues in terms of the dynamic island, and it's basically the way it reacts. So it's good in that department. Now, let's talk about the speakers. So, guys, I don't know if anyone really talked about the speaker quality, but the sound is amazing. It absolutely destroys the iPhone 13 in every single way possible. You can feel the bass. The sound quality is above and beyond the iPhone 13. It's basically no competition. The iPhone 16 completely obliterates the iPhone 13 in terms of speakers in every single way, just like I said before. Another thing I really noticed was this is actually surprising. The iPhone 16's lowest volume is too loud for me. So that is one thing I did not experience with the iPhone 13, but with iPhone 16, the the lowest volume is kind of loud. So in order to combat that, you have to manually adjust the slider just before it turns to mute. So maybe just about here is more like it, but it's still pretty loud at this point. So let's just say if everyone's sleeping in a room and you don't want to disturb the people who are sleeping, you have to reduce the volume all the way down. So you have to use the slider manually in order to achieve that. But I'm going to give you a speaker test so you can hear for yourself the difference between the iPhone 16 and 13 speaker quality. It's not going to directly translate from this video, but you will notice the difference much more in real life when you actually put these phones together. Trust me, it's a huge difference. So both are at exactly 50% volume, as you can see. And we're going to put both of these speakers to the test. So first I'm going to play the iPhone 13. You heard it for yourself. It absolutely obliterates the iPhone 13. So if you're upgrading from iPhone 13 or below, trust me, you're gonna love the iPhone 16 in terms of audio. Anyways, now let's jump to the cameras. All right, the cameras are very good on the iPhone 16. I have noticed very good in quality in terms of photos, videos. So basically, the iPhone 16 has a main camera lens that is a 48 megapixel, which is an upgrade from the iPhone 13, which only has 12 megapixel. But personally, I have actually noticed a difference in terms of the photo quality a little bit, so that's good. One thing that really caught my eye was the 10x zoom. The 10x zoom on the iPhone 16 is actually pretty good. The digital zoom, as you've seen with a lot of phones, is kind of mid, not that great, blurry and all. But with iPhone 16, the 10x zoom is actually not that bad. It is again nowhere near the Samsung Galaxies. They're just far better. But in terms of the upgrade from the iPhone 13, the zoom quality is really good, and it goes up to 10x, like I said. Whereas the iPhone 13 only goes up to 5x. That's it. So this is twice the zoom, and very good quality zoom. So that's a very good thing that I noticed. But another thing that really caught my eye, this is actually very useful for me because I make a lot of videos, and that is the macro mode. The macro mode, yes, it's finally out there with the iPhone 16. I think it was released with the iPhone 15. I might be wrong, but the macro mode is actually really good because the ultra wide camera is kind of updated, not really in terms of the megapixel, but in terms of aperture, it is a slight upgrade. But I don't know if you can see it, but let me just take a quick macro shot of this tablecloth, and you can see that looks beautiful. And this is very useful for me because I make a lot of videos, like I said. So some close-up shots uh, is actually a very good thing that I can use for my future videos. So that's a very good thing. Now, in terms of the video, there's also an action mode, which I haven't really tested it out. So I have to spend more time using that. The front cameras have also improved. They are much brighter because slightly upgraded front cameras in terms of the aperture, but overall front camera is great. The rear cameras are beautiful. I'm totally satisfied with the camera so far. Okay, let's talk about this. This is actually interesting. The camera control button. I keep saying the capture button, but it's actually the camera control button. So my bad. This, I actually found it useful. I'm kind of surprised I'm actually saying it, but this is one thing I found to be quite useful. So I basically use the camera control button as the quick launch for camera app. So it's pretty good. So I just press the button and boom, I'm already in the camera app, and I can just take photos and videos like instantly, way faster than the double tap, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. It's a massive hit or miss. So I really don't trust that as much as the camera control button. This is so useful, guys. I'm actually kind of surprised. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but it's really good. Absolutely worth it. Now, in order to use the camera control button, it does not require a physical click, but it requires a slight push, a haptic. You get a haptic feedback. So if you just press it slightly, you get a haptic feedback. Right now I've set it in the different photo mode, so I'll just change it to cameras, or like, let's just change it to zoom. So here, as you can see, I can change it. Now I haven't really used it that much, this particular function. You can do a lot of things with it, like as you can see here. It's very responsive. That's a very good thing, because if it was a hit or miss, then I would have said that this is kind of trash and not useful at all. But since it's very well implemented, I think I'll give it a try and maybe, use it in the real world and give my opinion on it. All right, now let's talk about the performance. This thing has an A18 chip. So the iPhone 13 has A15. This has an A18. Now, on paper, it's pretty good. The phone is snappy as hell. It's super fast, no lag at all. I open photos, apps, Instagram, WhatsApp, Reddit, everything just works. There is no lag whatsoever. So the A18 is pretty good. I don't have any complaints. And in terms of gaming, it's going to be pretty good, especially the Pro. So if you're going with the 16 Pro, you're going to get the A18 Pro, and you're going to have a lot of functionality with it, especially in terms of gaming, because as you've seen from Apple event, they're promoting gaming on the A18s and the new Max like crazy. So yeah, if you're a gamer, a mobile gamer, you're going to love the A18 or the A18 Pro. So very, very well optimized. That translates into good battery life, which is my next point. So far, it's pretty good, no complaints. Doesn't drain the battery doesn't drain overnight like my iPhone 13. Now the battery had degraded significantly. The battery life has been solid, rock solid. I mean, no issues. It easily lasts me a day. But if you're a heavy user, you definitely have to charge the phone maybe twice a day if you're a really heavy user. But if you're a casual user, you're gonna last through the day very easily, no issues at all. So in the battery department, you're going to be good to go. You won't have any issues with it whatsoever. Now also, it does support fast charging in comparison to the iPhone 13. It charges at a much slower speed than the iPhone 16. So if you get a fast charger, you probably use your MacBook charger, then you're going to notice that increase in the rate at which the phone charges. So you're definitely going to notice that upgrade. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the Apple Intelligence. So the Apple Intelligence, it's too early to say for me, right? Because I haven't really used Apple Intelligence that much. I have enabled it in settings, as you can see. Apple Intelligence and Siri. Here you go. Now, in order to access this, you have to change your language and region to US. That's the only way you're going to access Apple Intelligence and its features. So you're gonna have to wait for that. If you're like me living in India, you have to wait for I don't know how long, maybe halfway through the iOS 18 lifespan. So you're gonna have to wait for a while if you're living in India. You have the integration of ChatGPT, as you can see, which is good. So if you have a ChatGPT Plus account, you can link it. You're gonna have unlimited requests and stuff like that. So you can do a lot of things. Now you do have image playground, which is really good. Now, as you can see, I've made a few AI stuff, some AI pictures using image playground, which is good. You can even use Genmoji, which is actually kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. So let's just go over here and uh, click on the emoji button, and you have this smiley emoji face with the plus sign on top, and you can create genmoji. So let's just say frog wearing a hat. And all of this is done on device, so you don't have to rely on any servers and stuff like that. So that's really good. That's the reason this phone has 8 gigabytes of RAM, and all the other phones, older phones, don't support all this stuff because, well, they're low on RAM. So as you can see, it shows up. You can choose anything you want like that. So let's choose this one, and you can send it. It saves as a sticker. That's just one thing I wanted you to know. Now you also get writing tools with this. Now thing with writing tools is that I use it more on Mac because I have my college work and assignments and all. So, and sometimes I do have to write some reports and stuff. So in order to adjust the tone and fix some grammatical errors, I use writing tools a lot more on Mac compared to the iPhone. I haven't really used writing tools on iPhones, and a lot of features are still not there. They're slowly coming, yes, no doubt, but there are a few features that are still not there, which will be out probably by the next update or so. So that's one thing you need to note. So it's good that you're getting it with the iPhones on device. That's a big win in my opinion. I'll definitely make a long-term review on the iPhone 16 and all of its features that I found to be very useful. So guys, that's pretty much it with the unboxing and a short-term review on the iPhone 16. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, even though the UI, the user experience is pretty much the same between the two phones. These small differences or these little things that I mentioned in this video make a big difference in day-to-day usage. I have made 2 more videos regarding the iPhone 16 accessories, so stay tuned for that. They're coming very, very soon. For that reason, you know the drill. If you like this video, you know what to do, and I will see you in my next one really soon. Peace.